28F requesting marriage or divorce advice. Husband 32M. I, 28F, have been married to my husband, 32M, for almost 6 years now. I love my husband, but lately I have been contemplating telling him I would like a divorce. We welcomed our first child in September 2022, so this is an incredibly difficult decision for me. Edit. We have done couples counseling in the past and I encouraged him to talk with a therapist after the baby arrived and he started having the jealous feelings, but he never followed through. We have a big blow-up fight at least once a week, and no matter how much I express I feel like I am not being heard, it never results in an actual resolution. When our son first arrived, my husband dealt with some jealousy issues and having to share me with the baby, his words. We have never really been the same, and all this constant fighting really has me debating on if we should call it quits for the betterment of our son. But I truly do not know if having divorced parents is better than having parents that fight a lot. I just want to make the best decision for him. Today we argued and I told him why something he did was bothering me. Instead of trying to hear where I am coming from and see me perspective, he gaslights me and deflects like his life depends on it. This is the outcome I expect, to the point where I just totally avoid talking about things that bother me. I know that is not healthy, but mentally that is where I am. You can only be told your feelings are invalid and crazy so many times before you start to think that might be true. Last week we got into a fight because I told him I was going to go stay at my mom's with the baby for the night. However, it was a long day and after work I told him me and the baby would probably just stay home and go to my mom's in the morning. He told me how disappointed he was because he was really looking forward to having some me time. Keep in mind, in the 6 months we have had our son, he has went on weekend-long fishing trips, went and got wasted at a Super Bowl party and many other events where I just stayed home with the baby to make things easier. During that fight he told me, "You act like you do not even want to be a mom," and honestly it broke me. I have not been able to look at him the same since. We tried for 3 years to be able to have our son, countless doctor's appointments and tears, so you can imagine how hurtful this really was. Every day I wake up and try to be the best version of myself for our son, and it has really messed with my confidence as a mother. My husband is the kind of man that prioritizes his own hobbies and interests above all else. He is very into video gaming and really anything on the computer because he is a coder for work. Before our son arrived it did not really bother me because I am a big reader and I would read while he did his thing and it just worked out. Now that we have a child, though, I feel like I am doing 90% and the parental duties while still picking up after him hand and foot. When I express this for him or ask for help with a certain task I am met with eye rolls and sighs like he is a teenage boy. I am kind of a clean freak and do not mind carrying most the load, but doing all the parenting, all the housework, and getting attitude in return is about all I can take. To top it all off, my husband and I both work from home. Because of this I have to consistently remind my husband to take a damn shower on a regular basis. Seriously, he will go 2 weeks without bathing and not mind. And then wonder why I don't want to have sex with him. Obviously you stink, bye. I cannot help but daydream that maybe there is someone out there for me much better suited and I am just wasting my years away hoping he becomes the man I know he can be, but probably never will. I dream maybe I could find someone that takes pride in our home and wants to better their life. I dream of finding a man that does the dishes or helps without me having to ask and be met with resentment. Maybe even someone I do not have to remind to shower and take care of themselves. All of my family thinks I am crazy for staying as long as I have. My mom constantly sends me motivational stuff and it's pretty clear she is trying to show me I am being manipulated. I think I am now starting to accept that too. The idea of starting my life over with my son on my own is truly terrifying after being with my husband for almost 8 years, and I worry I will end up alone forever if I leave. He has never cheated or done anything that would definitely make me leave the relationship. Any advice is very much appreciated. You say the idea of starting over on your own with your son is terrifying. You're not seeing that you're already on your own. It's pretty clear from what you wrote he doesn't enjoy being a father. Seems like he considers the two of you to be a burden. He's lazy and selfish. Also, you don't have to be alone. You have a family that obviously loves you. Go home to them. Your husband isn't interested in making a home with you. You'll find someone else down the road. Or if your husband truly cares, maybe it'll be a wake-up call, but don't depend on it. I don't think your life will change that much since you are a single mom already. Your husband is a deadbeat. The only thing in his favor is that he has a job. I bet you that you earn more than him. Furthermore, he is a lazy, dirty, stinky, selfish pig. You, on the other hand, sound absolute wonderful. Dump the chump. Go make your dreams come true. Life is too short to settle for the stinker. No offense, but I never understand posts like these because you decided to bring a baby into this, which predictably makes your decision to leave so much harder. I'm sure he's been a smelly, lazy, selfish jerk long before this. Now he's adding jealousy of your baby to the long list of offenses. Leave. Your baby will be better off if you're happy, which will be apart. The only thing worse than starting over after 8 years is starting over after 9. My F20, X, M20, and I are best friends. Too long did not read. My ex and I remained close friends after our breakup, but now my girlfriend, F20, wants me to stop being friends with him because she thinks it's weird and it makes her uncomfortable. I've been dating the same girl for about 1.5 years. She's truly great, and overall our relationship is pretty solid. Before I met her, I was with my ex-boyfriend for about 3 years. After he and I broke up, we remained friends. My ex and I have grown a strong and healthy friendship. We share so many memories together, as well as so many of the same interests, including music, food, books, media and so much more. I love his approach to life and I love spending time with him. He is one of my best friends. My girlfriend is fabulous. I think she's a beautiful person and I admire so much about her. She is kind, supportive, funny, hard-working and extremely loving. However, when it comes to interests and hobbies, we have very little overlap. I have nobody to discuss these interests with. My ex is nice to have to talk to about these things, especially when my girlfriend is disinterested. A few months ago, my girlfriend's best mate told my girlfriend that she has no respect for me and she doesn't like me. I didn't know why until yesterday, when my girlfriend told me it's because she talked to her best mate about my ex and her mate thought what we were doing was wrong, and felt very defensive of my girlfriend. I'd like to add, my girlfriend has always told me she doesn't love my ex and I being friends, but that she knows it's her problem, and she is working on it. We had been broken up for a year when I met my GF, and she knew this was part of the deal coming in. Last night she asked me to stop being friends with him. In the past I have always told her that if it came down to the both of them, I would choose her. However, I don't think it's fair to actually put me in that position. I would choose between them in a scenario where they were actually pitted against each other but they are not. I don't want to have to choose either of them. I think this whole situation is ridiculous. I can't understand why she views herself and my ex as in competition to the point where I have to pick one of them. They are on totally different playing fields. I'm really hurt and really upset. I know I have to choose my girlfriends. I know she's uncomfortable because he's my ex, but it all feels so unfair. I've always been loyal to her and my ex has done nothing to upset her. I'm at a lose-lose here. I either lose one of my best friends, or I lose my partner. I can't imagine a world without my ex. A world without my girlfriend doesn't feel like an option. Does anybody have any advice in terms of what to do from here? Edit. It's true I haven't stated enough in this post how wonderful my girlfriend is. She really is a gem. I'm just a little upset with her at the moment, so it's less natural than normal. Update. We have talked now and all is well. She doesn't want me to be friends with him because it makes her feel uncomfortable as she has had bad past experiences with exes. She understands that she is asking me to cut off an important friend and she regrets that, but we have both agreed that prioritizing her in this instance is more important. Read your third paragraph as if you were a third party, and then honestly tell me that you can't see why your relationship with your ex is a problem with your relationship with your GF, and any future relationships you might have. So yes, you have to choose, your ex or your GF. I can't imagine a world without my ex. It's pretty telling that you chose to write that you can't imagine a world without your ex but couldn't include the same about your girlfriend. I bet, it shows and your girlfriend is not blind. Just imagine writing a post and include only things that benefit you while describing your partner but then go on a rant about actually mutually beneficial things you cherish in your relationship with an ex. Do you think your partner cannot see that attitude in real life? You can't even graciously describe what you love in her just because you are upset with her being upset over this issue. Do you think it's okay? This is way too much emotional baggage for a 20Y. Oh. That doesn't work in favor of any possible partner. I don't want to hear about how unfair it is to you when your girlfriend has felt like a second choice for over a year. You're in love with your ex still and I'm baffled you can't see that. And honestly, if you guys have a chance to be together, why not? Leave the girlfriend and maybe give your ex a chance. Every person you date is going to have a problem with this. You just have to find someone you actually want to give him up for. My 21F boyfriend, 24M, keeps begging me to take him back. Too long did not read. My 21F boyfriend, 24M, keeps begging me to take him back after we ended things. It's making me feel like shit. I will provide some reasons of what led to me ending things with him. He loves joking around and bantering, but he tend to take things too far, and it will get to the point where he'll say something to offend me and make me upset. He will then get annoyed at me for it and complain about how I can never joke around with you. You take things too seriously, and say he feels like he can't be himself around me. When we're having an argument or a disagreement, he will constantly talk over me and interrupt me to the point that he is dominating the conversation. I'm unable to get my point across, and when I try to talk he'll get mad at me and tell me, "Don't interrupt me because you don't like when I do it to you." Yet he ironically constantly does it to me. He got upset with me because I wasn't comfortable with sending him explicit photos every day. He felt like he deserved them since he's my BF, and that since I know he likes photos like that I should do it for him. Then made me feel bad for setting a boundary with him, and set a boundary with me out of spite. Every time we get into arguments I have to ask him multiple times to apologize. But yet when I do something to offend him I apologize to him right away. He got mad at me for my hygiene once because we were going away for the weekend, and I forgot to pack the soap I used to wash down there. He got annoyed at me that I wouldn't use the regular body wash in the shower to wash down there, 'cause that's what he used. Every time we get into a disagreement about something, he turns it around on me and will bring up things from the past to try to prove a point. Up until yesterday we were not speaking and in another disagreement because he's mad at me for something that I did that he feels is disrespectful to him. But yet he did the same thing, but worse, to me, and he's just acting like that never happened. He's called me like 3 times now crying and begging me to take him back, give him one more chance and for us to try and work it out. He feels like he fucked up so bad by getting mad at me. He's never felt this way, or cried, over anyone before. The thought of not being able to talk to me, text me, come see me, hold me etc. he just can't deal with. He's also felt like he wanted to break up twice before in the relationship, but because at the time I got so upset with that and he saw my pain, and loved me so much he decided to stay and work it out with me. He's saying how I should do that same. I feel the same way that he does, and this is a hard decision for me to make too. But I feel like ultimately this is what's best right now. If we make up, it's going to be good for a week or two and then go back right to how it is. I feel like I have a lot to work on and so does he. Girl. The kindest thing you can do for yourself right now is go no contact. Read Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft. There are free PDFs online. You are describing abusive behavior that is described nearly exactly the same way in the book. It will help give you the resolve to go no contact. Your ex is continuing to disrespect your boundaries by begging, aka attempting to manipulate you. The crying and false promises are part of the abuse cycle. So, even his attempt to get you back includes a remember all the bad things you did that I overlooked? Girl, no. Go put on, we are never getting back together, and block him. You're absolutely correct. Stand your ground. He will survive. It's time to consider blocking him and closing this door altogether. He is a selfish person. Very, very selfish. He will likely never change. This behavior is a typical Hoover, look it up. It'll remove you further from his attachment. Block. Block, block, block. Just block, babe. I, 29 female, caught my 30 male husband lying to me about where he was after work. I caught my husband lying to me about where he was. I, 29 female, caught my 30 male husband in a car with another woman 40 female after he told me he was going to be running to town to pick something up. Just for context, about 2 years ago before we were married, I used to go out and have drinks with my coworkers both male and female. I would let my fiancé at the time know that I was going out if and answer any questions that he had about it. Just got out of hand and I was going out just about every night. I have since apologized for my behavior during that time as I would leave him alone at home with our children, and be out till 2 o'clock in the morning. I apologized to him, and we had moved on as I had gotten pregnant with our 3rd child and begin to plan our wedding. We got married about 7 months ago. For the past several months I have noticed that my husband was coming home later than normal with different excuses as to what he was doing after work. There would be a 2-hour time gaps from when he got off work to when he arrived home, and he would eat dinner and then go straight to our garage and be there the rest of the night. I was starting to feel neglected as I was taking care of all the household, chores and children, and just sitting there by myself all night. I would ask him if he wanted to do anything, and he would just shrug me off and he will just hang out until the garage until I fell asleep. So I began to suspect that something was going on. Several times we had made plans to watch a movie together after the kids had gone to sleep, but he would ditch me and claim he had projects that he needed to complete. The other day as I was driving down the road I saw him parked on the side of the road with another vehicle behind him. He texted me that he was helping another male friend load pots into his car. I brushed it off and just assumed that he was doing. However, my gut was telling me something else was going on. So the next day I was on my way home and he told me he was going to head over to the next town over to go pick something up. But it was eating away at me and I decided to go see where he was at. I found him on the side of the road with a female coworker. They were sitting in her vehicle windows, all steamed up as they have been sitting there for an hour. He gets out of her truck and comes and talks to me and tells me that he ran out of gas, which was a lie. As this has now happened 5 times so that I know of when I questioned him later on over text, he said that they would sit there and talk about life and things that they have in common. But what annoys me the most is that he doesn't sit there and talk to me or hang out with me, but took the time away from myself and our children to go hang out with another woman and confide in her about our relationship. I don't know what to do now. Oh honey, he's cheating on you with that other woman. I'm so sorry this is happening to you, but this isn't okay, and I'm so sorry he's trying to make things out like you are being unreasonable. Unfortunately, cheaters seldom change. You caught him at best in an emotional affair and at worst, more. Step away. Get tested for STDs and speak with a lawyer to find out your options before you sit down with him. From there you should speak with him and let him know you know more than he think you do. Tell him to start explaining to you what is going on. If you do not like what he says, it may be time to use one of your options you have from a lawyer, and if he seems honest or at least tries, it's up to you as you want to try marriage counseling. You are in the driver's seat here and it's up to you how you both move forward. Kick him out. Honey, he cheating on you. Steamed up windows? Yeah, they were hooking up. You pretty much caught him red-handed.